All right, my friends, today, let's talk software. So the first thing I'm gonna ask my buddy Zach here is, let's be honest with each other, man. There are a lot of cams out there, and not just cam software. I have a lot of friends named Cam. I mean, cams are everywhere.
I went to school with one.
I went to school with several. But if we're talking GibbsCAM today, yes, I have to know, I mean, what is the difference? Where do you guys stand out? And if I'm watching right now, I have to learn the differences between why, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It is a very flooded marketplace, and that is one of the most common questions we get is what makes you guys different than anybody else? Well, for one, we've been around for 40 years. This is actually our 40th anniversary.
It's a good start.
Yeah, this is actually at 1984 is when it was started. And the biggest thing that I think we bring to the table that differentiates us from everybody else is a non-modal user interface. And what that means to the programmer is it's flat. And where in most softwares you're going to click through a number of menus to get to any one point, in Gibbs, anything you could ever need is no more than one click away. And we take that so far as to allow the user to fully customize his experience. So if I'm just a lathe programmer, I don't need to see milling tools. Or if I'm just a mill programmer, I don't need to see lathe tools. But if I program a mill turn, I get all of it. You can really take it to the nth degree in what you do or do not see and what you do or do not experience in Gibbs. And that's something that we really prided ourselves on over a number of years.
Well, first thing I have to say, Zach, is there's no way 1984 was 40 years ago. It can't be. It just can't be, guys. I'm not that old already. Second thing is, as we're talking about the longevity, when we talk about if I focus on one area, I'm not going to see another area. If I focus here, there, how user-friendly is it really? And I bring that up because as a programmer myself, I started programming line to line on the machine itself. Yeah. Then we actually slipped into Excel spreadsheets, if you can imagine that, utilizing coding from that to get the numbers we needed. Yeah. And then I moved into some others as well. But as I was changing and switching, I did start to get kind of wound up in all the differences, and I needed something to be user-friendly and easy to adapt to, especially if, as you mentioned, I can run on this machine, this machine, this machine, you know, all the different machines, and you adapt to them. It's got to also be easy to do both of those to put together.
Absolutely. And that's really a big selling point for us as a software is that we can accommodate any machine need, any brand need, any control need. We've worked with all of them. Over the 40 years, trust me, we've worked with all of them. I've been doing it 15 years personally, and I've probably worked with, let's say like 40% of them.
Wow.
But across the board, within our company, I have guys that have been doing this in the Gibbs world for 30 plus years, which is amazing for me because I get to learn off of them. But it's also nice for them to come to me and say, you know, as much as software and the machining world has changed, I can still go back to my old Gibbs files and look at them and say, oh yeah, like it still works. So this is another really cool feature. Gibbs is backwards compatible. So I can open an old file in my 2024 version of Gibbs, and it'll still work.
That is pretty cool.
It'll still work.
Also, now thinking of 1984 and how long you've been doing it, I didn't even realize we were in the interweb back then, you know, and programming these things. So fascinating in itself. That to me, it becomes a legacy. It becomes that story of growing from the roots of an organization to create what modern technology might be today, and adapting yourselves in such a way which goes into reliability. As I see a checklist behind you of things that are very important to GibbsCAM, reliability is at the top of that list. Can we talk a little bit about that word?
Yeah, we really pride ourselves on delivering a product for the end user that is going to function in the way that they intend it to and that we intend it to. We really pride ourselves on delivering a product to the end user that's going to be reliable in how they experience it, but also dependable in how they experience it. We really take a great deal of time on the quality assurance side. We really take a great deal of time in refining the product. One of our biggest core competencies on the development side has been not just always shooting for the moon and adding new functionality every year, but making sure that what we've added in previous years is functioning to its best. So we really do try and take a global view as to how we think not only should a programmer operate, but when they come back to us and say, hey, listen, I see what you're trying to do here, but maybe it'd be better if you did it this way. We take those things into consideration when we're developing the next releases of software because it is very much a living and breathing thing for us. It has to be.
And as we develop this living and breathing thing over time, and I'm going to go back to some of my programming experience as well, segueing into power. And you, my friend, look like quite a powerful guy, much stronger than I am, of course. But going back to taking over time and making sure that everything is compatible forwards and backwards. I have programmed machines as they're getting more complex as well. And lines, if we're not using sub programs or macros, then we might have who knows how many lines. And I've had machines and software lock up on me when I'm trying to run a little demo inside the software itself. So let's talk about the power of GibbsCAM.
Yeah, I mean, we've had to drip feed many times before for customers that have older Fidals or you name it, just old machines that are sitting on the floor, which pretty much every shop still has. So we're used to it. And that's one of the things that we also bring to the table. Because we've been doing it for so long, we've experienced almost everything you can possibly experience in this industry to date. Of course, it's always going to keep moving forward.
Who knows what tomorrow brings?
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's hope it's great things for all of us. But that's one of those things that we bring to the table is we've experienced it. And because we've experienced it, you know, we might be able to apply something to a shop in California that we've already experienced at a shop in New York, you know, a shop in Ohio or a shop in Michigan. Like we've been there, we've done it, we've seen it. It's not to say it's old hat to us, but it's experience. We have a lot of experience that we bring to the table for our customers, and we really try and let them milk it, because ultimately if they're happy, they're going to tell their friends, and next thing you know, we're in 10 shops just because of that one that we kept happy from the start.
Yeah, it's very fair to say, make it usable, make it reliable, make it powerful, make it GibbsCAM. Today we're at Merrifield Machinery. What's a relationship like? And I know you guys work with a lot of folks out there, and I imagine what you're getting ready to say goes, you know, across the nation, across the world even probably with GibbsCAM, with what a relationship means to you. But here at Merrifield today, what does this relationship mean? I
have a great relationship with Nick, and one of his applications guys, Nate, is a good friend of mine and has been a great Gibbs user over the years, still uses Gibbs to this day. This part right here was...
It's a cool part, by the way. They're making it right over there.
On a Yamasaki over there, and we're pretty proud of that guy. So I think that's what it is to us. It's not showing up when they ask you to show up. It's being there when maybe they don't even expect you to be there. It's being there to support them on the odd jobs and the stuff that, you know, we all have to do, because that's what keeps this industry moving forward. So for me, that's what this is all about. Like, I love how Nick runs his company. It's really awesome to work with another small business, because as a distributor of a software, we ourselves are a small business, and it just means a lot to have another guy that sees things the way I see things.
Very, very well put. Nothing else we need to say. No powerful closing statements from me today. This is my buddy Zach. The power comes from GibbsCAM and not me in this interview. The power comes from Zach in this interview as well. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you again soon.